Welcome to the deep dive. You've sent us some really interesting material. This time we're digging into Plum Blossom Boxing.
Yeah, Plum Blossom Boxing. It's a traditional style part of Shaolin Wushu.
And the sources describe it as one of the excellent routines, known for its integral structure
Hmm.
and distinctive style. So what exactly makes it tick?
Exactly. That's the plan. You've given us this introductory text, descriptions of basic stances, hand forms.
And the routine itself, right, with those amazing names and the illustrations.
Yep. So our mission is basically to pull out the key bits from all this, give you a really clear picture of its fundamentals and how it all flows together.
Sounds good. We want to get a real sense of it from the ground up.
And there are some quite intriguing parts. Those movement names, for example, are almost poetic.
And the connection to the Shaolin Temple itself, that's always fascinating.
Definitely. It's got deep roots.
Okay, so where do we start? The origins.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Shaolin Wushu itself, I mean, it has this incredibly long history. We're talking over 1,500 years. Originating, of course, from the Shaolin Temple in Henan province.
And Plum Blossom Boxing is just one specific routine within that huge tradition.
Precisely. And the excerpt we have, it mentions it's part of a larger series on Shaolin traditional Kung Fu.
Right, which helps place it. Context is always good.
Absolutely. And we should talk about the author, Geng Jun, also known as Shi Jun.
Jun, okay. His background seems pretty impressive.
It really is. The text calls him a Buddhist disciple of the 31st generation of Shaolin Wushu.
31st generation.
Yeah. And a national Shijio Wushu coach, vice secretary general of the China Shaolin Wushu Research Society. I mean, the list goes on.
So he's deeply connected. This isn't just academic study for him.
Not at all. He's part of the lineage. He even established the Mengzu Shaolin Wushu Institute.
That really adds weight to the material, knowing it comes from someone so embedded in the tradition.
Exactly. So that gives us the historical context. Now we can dive into the building blocks, the fundamentals.
Starting with the stances, I guess you need a solid foundation before you can do anything else.
Absolutely critical. The source lays out several basic stances common in Shaolin Wushu. Let's go through them.
Okay. First one is the bow stance. Gung Bu.
That's the one. Gung Bu. Gung means bow, bu means stance or step.
Ah. So the name itself kind of hints at the posture, like drawing a bow.
That's a great way to think about it. One foot's forward, knee bent quite deep. The source says 4 to 5 times your foot length distance, roughly.
Okay.
And the rear leg is stretched straight, but it gets really specific.
How so?
Well, the front knee shouldn't go past the toes by more than like 5 degrees. Protects the joint.
Right.
And the front sole turns inward just slightly, less than 45 degrees. Back leg, though, the sole is turned inward a full 45 degrees.
Wow, that's precise. Figure 1 shows that.
Yep, figure 1 illustrates it. It's all about that balance between, stability and being ready to spring forward.
Makes sense. Next up is the horse stance, Emebu.
Mhm.
This one always looks so strong.
It is very grounded. I mean, trying to hold it correctly is definitely a workout.
I bet. So how's it formed?
Feet are much wider here, about 3 to 3.5 times your foot length apart.
Okay.
And both knees are bent, almost down to horizontal level. Toes turn slightly out. Figure 2 gives you the visual.
Yeah, you can really see that stable base. These stances aren't just static poses, are they?
Not at all. They embody principles. Stability, mobility, rootedness, especially the low ones. They're the foundation for everything else.
Okay, what's next? The crouch stance, Pubu.
Pubu, yeah. This one's very low. Like you said, looks like you're ready to spring.
How's it described?
It's basically a single split. One knee is bent way down, close to the ground. The other leg is stretched out straight.
Okay.
And there's about a 90-degree angle between the legs. Figure 3 shows that low profile. Good for changing levels quickly.
Right. Then we have the empty stance, Subu.
Yeah.
The name makes it sound light.
Yeah, it implies readiness to shift weight. The front foot is in tandem, just the heel lightly touching the ground.
So most of the weight is on the back leg.
Exactly. Back legs bent, knee nearly horizontal, sole turned out 45 degrees. And it even says the distance between the knees is about 10 centimeters.
Huh. Specific again, figure 4 for that one.
Yep. Shows that kind of delicate balance. Ready to move.
Okay. How about the rest stance, Sibu? Sounds less active.
Oh, yes and no. It's a kind of active rest, maybe. You cross your legs and squat down.
Right.
Front foot stays flat on the ground, toes out. Back foot, just the front soles on the ground. And your backside is slightly seated on the lower part of the back leg.
Okay, I think I can picture that. Figure 5 shows it.
It's like a moment to gather yourself, maybe, before the next move.
Then there's cross-legged sitting, Panzubu. That one's pretty self-explanatory.
Right. Figure 6 just shows the standard cross-legged posture, often transitional or for meditation.
Got it. What about the T stance? Dingbu?
Dingbu, legs together, knees bent, thighs almost horizontal.
Okay.
But one foot is up on its tiptoe right near the inner arch of the other foot. T-shaped, basically.
Hence the name. Figure 7.
Yep.
It's a narrow base, maybe for focus or a quick pivot.
And feet together stance, Bingbu. Similar.
Similar setup, legs together, knees bent, thighs nearly horizontal. But here, both feet are flat on the ground.
Right. Figure 8.
Uh-huh. Another compact stance, gathering energy perhaps?
Now, the 7-star stance, Kik Singbu. The source says this one's unique to a couple of specific styles.
Yeah, Shaolin 7-star boxing and nature flood boxing. It is distinctive.
What does it look like?
One foot's turned inward, resting on the tiptoe. The other foot is forward, both knees bent, sort of a near horizontal squat again.
Interesting. Figure 9 shows that.
Yes. Suggests a specialized use, probably.
Okay. Then kneel stance, Gibu.
Gribu. Feet are about 2.5 foot lengths apart, front leg bent, back knee close to the floor.
Heel up on the back foot.
Yeah, heel of the back foot is off the ground. Figure 10, useful for lowering the body, maybe ground techniques.
Makes sense. High empty stance, Gyeogsbu. A variation on the other empty stance. Seems like it. Feet in tandem again, center of gravity back, but the front foot is on tiptoe, turned out 45 degrees.
Distance.
Distance between tiptoes is about 1 foot length, figure 11. Maybe gives a bit more reach?
Could be. And the last stance listed is toes raising stance.
Tajingbu.
Right. Tajingbu, feet in tandem again, about 1.5 foot lengths apart.
Okay.
Rear knee is bent and turned out 45 degrees. But the front leg is straight, heel on the ground, toes pointing up and turned slightly inward.
That's a unique one, figure 12.
Figure 12 shows it. So yeah, quite a range of stances, each with its own purpose, balance, power, movement.
Definitely. It really lays the groundwork. So how do the hands come into play? The hand forms.
Yes. Equally important. The source details several basic hand forms, or xingxing. First up is the fist, Quan.
Quan, okay, and there are different types.
2 main ones described here, the straight fist and the heart-penetrating fist.
Okay, what's the difference? How are they used? The straight fist, figure 13, is your typical fist. 4 fingers curled tight, thumb pressed over the forefinger knuckle.
Standard punch.
Pretty much. Used for all sorts of strikes. The heart-penetrating fist, though, figure 14, is a bit different.
How so?
Fingers are together, held tight, but the middle finger knuckle juts out slightly, becomes the main point of contact.
Ooh, like a focused strike.
Exactly. The thumb locks it in place, pressing on the end and joint of that middle finger, often aimed at vital points, requires more precision, maybe more conditioning.
I can imagine. Okay, so fists, what else? Palms?
Yes, palm or zing, and there's a whole list of variations here.
Oh, like what?
Let's see. Willow leaf palm, H-shaped palm, tiger's claw palm, eagle's claw palm, fingers clamp palm, and palm drawn in.
Wow, quite a few. Let's take a couple. Willow leaf palm, linea's ling. Sounds graceful.
It looks at figure 15. 4 fingers point up, thumb turned inward, like a leaf shape.
Used for.
Often for softer moves like deflecting or striking with the edge of the hand.
Okay. And tiger's claw palm. 80 say? That sounds much fiercer.
It looks it too. Figure 17. 5 fingers spread apart, bent at the knuckles like a claw.
For grabbing, ripping.
Yeah, exactly. Seizing, applying pressure, grappling techniques.
And eagle's claw. Ying zizak. Similar idea.
Similar intent, but a different shape. Figure 18 shows it. Thumb turned in, little and middle finger curled onto the palm, forefinger and ring finger are apart, also turned inward.
Creates a kind of pinching or piercing grip.
Exactly. A powerful, focused grab. It's amazing how these subtle changes in hand shape suggest totally different uses.
It really is. And there are hooks too, right?
Yep. 2 types mentioned. Hook hand and mantis hook.
Hook hand gusho.
That's the standard one in wushu. Figure 20. You bend the wrist, fingers draw in naturally, tips together.
Used for pulling, deflecting.
Typically, yes. But then there's the mantis hook, tanlangdu.
Like the praying mantis. Sounds intricate.
It is. Figure 21 shows it. Wrist bends and bulges up. Ring and little finger bend inward. Forefinger and middle finger also turned inward, and the thumb presses on the middle joint of the forefinger.
Wow, that's complex.
Yeah, very specific shape. Probably for more precise trapping or striking, mimicking the mantis.
So these stances, these hand forms, they really give you the alphabet of the style, don't they?
That's a good way to put it, the basic elements.
Okay, so now the routine itself, Plum Blossom Boxing,
Yeah.
how does it all come together?
Right, the Mei Hua Quan. The source says it's structured to resemble the shape of a plum blossom.
Which is a lovely image. Resilience, beauty.
Exactly. And it notes it's probably best for people who already have some wushu training.
Makes sense. Given the complexity we've seen already, how is the routine structured?
It's divided into 4 actions. Section 1 has 10 actions, Section 2, 7 actions, Section 3 has 11, and Section 4 is the longest, with 20 actions.
Plus a closing form.
Plus a closing form, yeah.
Hmm.
Brings it all to an end.
So it's quite substantial. And the names of the actions, you said they were evocative.
Oh, absolutely. Almost poetic.
Oh.
Want some examples?
Please, give us a taste from each section.
Okay, Section 1. You've got golden rock spreads wings.
Nice, big, expansive image.
Exactly. Then, ear-hanging hammer. Sounds sharp, close in.
Huh.
The boy worships Buddha. Maybe more symbolic. Or specific posture. Fierce tiger goes out of the cave.
Powerful, sudden.
Right. The swallow flies into the forest. Light, agile perhaps. And beat tiger on single leg. That sounds challenging. Balance and power.
Wow, those names alone tell a story. What about Section 2?
Section 2 has things like turn body to chop hill. Sounds like a heavy downward strike.
Yeah.
Brush hand and thrust fist and bow stance. Very descriptive, linking the techniques. Jumping lotus kick.
Ooh, acrobatic.
Sounds like it. Needs flexibility. Then, little tiger holds the head, grappling maybe, and the rock spreads claws, similar to the first section's rock, but maybe a different application.
Interesting. Jumping lotus kick definitely catches the ear. Section 3.
Section 3, cannon at the bottom of the sea. Low, powerful strike, maybe?
Sounds like it.
Turn body to thread throat. Precise, sounds dangerous. Whirlwind kick. Another spinning kick.
Dynamic.
Huh? White crane spreads wings. Classic image, often about balance, grace. Tiger tail foot, a sweeping kick. And fierce tiger goes out of cave again.
Ah, so some repetition, maybe key movements or themes.
Could be. Highlights important techniques. And finally, Section 4. It's the longest one.
Right, 20 actions. What stand out?
Let's see. Elbow bending with skip step, close in work, footwork involved, backhand fist with body turn, rotational power, single whip and horse stance, a real classic technique, sky cannon, upward explosive strike, rest on the pillow, sounds deceptive, or transitional.
Intriguing name.
Then sweep leg on the ground, low attack, flash palm in T-stance, combines hand and stance. And then the closing form.
That's quite a range. From cannons to resting on pillows, it suggests a lot of variety.
It really does. And the source gives us glimpses of a few movements with illustrations.
Ah, good. Can we look at a couple
Yeah.
to see how the stances and hand forms actually, manifest?
Sure. Let's take figure 23. It's part of ear-hanging hammer from section 1.
Okay. What does it show?
Shows the practitioner in a left bow stance. There's our foundation. Right fist is punching forward and a bit upward. Left palm is pulled back near the right elbow like a guard.
Eyes forward.
Eyes looking at the right fist, yeah. Direction of force, you can kind of see that arsing hammer-like strike.
Yeah, I can picture that, powered by the bow stance.
Yeah.
What about one showing a transition?
Okay, figure 28. Part of thrust fist and horse stance from section 2.
War stance, okay.
You stride right into the horse stance, body turning 180 degrees right. As you turn, the right fist parries up and right.
Deflecting.
Looks like it. And the left fist strikes straight forward, shoulder height. Eyes look left.
So, turn, parry, strike, all together.
Exactly. The text stresses coherent, harmonious action. It all flows.
That integral structure they mentioned. Okay, how about something from later on, maybe more complex?
Let's look at figure 35. Part of turn body to thread throat in section 3.
Ugh.
Here you land in a left crouch stance, that low kubu. Left palm cuts down above the left foot.
Defensive.
Seems like it, or a sweep. Simultaneously, the right hand, which was a palm, changes to a fist and pulls back to the right waist, ready to counter.
Right. And gaze?
Gaze is down at the left tiptoe, maintaining focus and balance in that low stance. It's intricate, changing levels, changing hand forms, defense and offense together.
Definitely sounds complex. Can we look at one more? Maybe one of those kicks, like the whirlwind kick?
Sure. Figure 54 shows the whirlwind kick, also section 3.
What'd it look like?
It shows a jump, a full 360-degree spin in the air.
Boy, yeah.
As you spin, the right foot swings inward, and the left palm slaps the inside of that right foot midair.
For balance. Control.
Probably both. The notes emphasize swiftness for the jump and turn, and needing a steady landing. Very athletic.
Sounds visually stunning. Okay, one last one maybe? Figure 69. Step back and punch 3 times.
From section 4. Shows turning the body 180 degrees left, stepping back with the left foot. So a retreat.
Uh,
As you step back, the left hand swings up, parrying above the head on the left side.
Docking.
Uh-huh. And the right fist strikes forward at shoulder height. Counterattack while retreating. Eyes on the right fist, maintaining the target.
So it shows defense and attack simultaneously, even while moving backward.
Exactly. Practical application.
Seeing these few examples really helps connect the dots between the names, the stances, the hand forms, and the actual flow. You get a feel for the dynamism.
Absolutely. It paints a picture of a style that's grounded in fundamentals, but expresses itself through these flowing, varied, and often quite beautiful sequences.
So wrapping up this deep dive,
Mhm.
based on the sources you sent, Plum Blossom Boxing really stands out as a distinct routine within Shaolin Wushu.
Mhm.
It's got this strong emphasis on foundational stances, a whole range of them, and specific hand techniques.
Yeah.
And these are all woven together into this structured sequence of movements with these incredibly descriptive, almost poetic names.
That sums it up well. It gives you a solid base understanding straight from the material provided, touching on the what and hinting at the why.
Okay, so here's a final thought to leave you with. Think about those names. Golden Rock spreads wings, cannon at the bottom of the sea, swallow flies into the forest. How might these names reflect something deeper?
Yeah, like the underlying principles, maybe even the philosophy of the art.
Exactly. Consider the image of the plum blossom itself. Delicate looking, maybe, but flowering in the cold, showing resilience. How does that connect to these powerful, dynamic movements?
Or maybe think about how these named forms fit into the bigger picture of Shaolin arts. What makes this plum blossom form unique compared to, say, a tiger form or a crane form?
Lots to ponder there. Something to explore beyond just the mechanics. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.